Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into the association for Wednesday, November 27th. All right, we're going to get into the NBA picks. 14 games coming to you guys live the day before Thanksgiving. So this will be the calm before the storm. And then we start getting into some true degeneracy as not just turkey, but it will be football, basketball, anything basically under the sun for the next few days and leading up to an exciting weekend in the college and pro ranks for NFL and college football. So I'm excited for that. Enjoy it. We're going to have tons of content. Bear with me. Make sure you have that notification bell turned on so that you don't miss a beat. The timing might be a little different. I'm going to try to nurse these hangovers and some good family time and get up before kids go crazy to get you guys out some content, maybe even the day before. But let's keep it going and let's keep going in the right direction. And I apologize because we have not had a lot of NBA content. My schedule is just jam-packed. Crypto trading and what we have going on with NFL, that really takes and consumes the most of my time. Thank you to Joey for keeping it going with the hockey stuff, where we've been cashing a lot over on that platform. And guys, I got to tell you a secret. I know we're talking NBA, but the bread and butter is back. We hit a college basketball. I was tempted. I had to throw one in. That Kansas Duke game last night got me going. So we threw in a little college basketball zinger, and we took it home. So I'll post that one over on Discord a little bit later on the day. But we are back. College basketball is back. I like to wait till after these tournaments are over, but I gave in to temptation and greed, and we had to cash a ticket. So feels good. I love me some college basketball, one of my favorite sports to bet. But let's hit the NBA running. So give me a couple minutes of your time. I'll get you on your way. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below. And feel free to hit me up down below in the comments as well, okay? But that's what we're going to look into Outlier. This is the platform I use to do all my picks, as you guys are all aware. It's truly the best thing out there when you want to make sports bets, okay? If you want to sign up, link down below in the description. Enjoy a 7-day free trial. But that's enough about that. Let's get into the games, all right? 7 o'clock start, Miami and Charlotte. This is a game where we're going to look into this first game. And if we talk about it in kind of what the Charlotte Hornets have been about all season, right? This is where they've been plagued by injuries, albeit for like 2 years straight. And now on the other side of the equation, Miami seemingly is healthy, coming off of a stretch where, both of these teams, for the most part, Miami's that kind of closet team that just scares you as we get closer to the postseason, but this year not so much, okay? I'm looking at some of the betting numbers and metrics within this Miami Heat club, and, covering 5 out of 15 games ATS on the season. This is one where we got to stay away from this one, but I do think that there is an angle and avenue where we could take the under 218.5. That would be my best bet in this game. Okay. Next, Portland in Indiana. This is where we look at the game. Portland is getting 10.5. Sorry, with a total set at 232.5. Complete kind of flop within this total, okay? A vast majority of the handle is on the Indiana Pacers going over this total of 232.5. Now, that's where you want to ask yourself, okay, well, where did the line move? Okay, so we're going to look at Portland and Indiana, and we can see right now that we started at 227.5. That was an opening number, but now that total sits at 232.5, okay? So that's kind of where we're at. The handle is completely moving the number. This is where we see the vast majority of bets on the over. And there's some public money on the under. So if you want to jump on the worst of it, 232.5 is something I don't mind. It's kind of where I would lean as well. The Pacers have not covered 5 games in a row against the number. See exactly what's going on with them. Quite frankly, missing Aaron Nesmith and Andrew Nembhard, okay? They're missing some of their guys. James Wiseman is also out as well, just to name a few. And I really look into this Pacers club, okay? They were one of my futures tickets to win at all, them and the Cavaliers. So a couple of 30 to 40 to 1s we have in that regard. But on the other side of the argument, Portland, they're nursing a lot of injuries as well, okay? We got Klingen's out, Jeremy Grant, as well as Ayton and Chris Murray, Scoot Henderson, all questionable. Thibault and Robert Williams still remains out. So there's a lot of lacking for them from that Trailblazers club. But the important thing to understand about the Trailblazers, right? They're 7-11 on the season, 9-9 against the number. And if we talk about kind of where they're at in terms of why this game is appealing. Well, yeah, I see points, but there's a reason why they see points, okay? And that's where the Portland Trailblazers are 7-0 straight up against the spread when we talk about their last 7 games versus bottom 10 scoring defenses, okay? So that's kind of where we leave into a very interesting storyline. So you have to ask yourselves, if we look in kind of the spread and you're getting 10.5 on the road, I don't know, worth a little bit of a flyer, but also Portland staring me in the eyes at plus 400. I'm not saying I'm going to take it. I'm just saying I'm not opposed to it, and I don't mind that going against a Pacers team who seemingly every time they take the court, it is a coin flip, as they've lost 10 games out of their 18 on the season. So kind of just a little long shot play there. I don't mind some Portland money line on the road, but the 10.5 is one that I do favor quite a bit. If we were going to add it to my pick 4. So that would be a strong lean, Portland to plus 10.5. Next game that we are going to have an official play in, and this is kind of where we don't ride it till it bucks, okay? And full disclosure, when the Cavaliers did lose to the Celtics and snap that winning streak, okay, full disclosure, I was on the Celtics. So that was Celtics money line, though, and I just, really applaud the Cavaliers coming back from that, kind of first half deficit and really making it close. That would have been a very exciting win if they were able to pull and notch that comeback. Now the Cavaliers 5-0 ATS in their last 5. And look at the number, guys. Probably the best cover team in the NBA, 14-4 on the season ATS. A very good team to the over as well. So what Kenny Atkinson has done for company in Cleveland has been phenomenal, okay? You got to really start looking, and I know that they play very good complementary basketball. But there is some arguments to be made that maybe outside of a number perspective, and if we do get like a Darius Garland injury per se, knock on wood that doesn't happen, I would not be ashamed to say that I have a Donovan Mitchell futures ticket for MVP. He'll probably finish 4th or 5th, but hey, it's worth a flyer with the amount of injuries that we have at the high number that I got it, okay? But this is a great spot for me as we look into kind of the injuries within Cleveland. Cleveland's not even healthy yet. That's the scary thing. Max Strus, Amani Bates aren't suiting up. Dean Wade's out. Karis LeVert is out. So they're missing 4 rotational pieces in that Cavaliers club. Going against an Atlanta Hawks team that is getting 9.5 now, which I don't understand why, with Trae Young nursing an Achilles and some other notable not playing for the Hawks. I think that this is a buy low spot on the Cavaliers. I think that the number has moved enough. And the problem I have with betting the Cavaliers is the numbers are inflated, right? You can see this opening number where we've talked about it, and it is warranted, right? They are covering that big number, okay? But opening at 10.5 and now getting bet down, I still like the Cavaliers with the spread. I'm going to lay the 9.5. I think Cavs win by double digits. If you talk about kind of their margins of victory, you can see kind of where in their last 4 games, they have won almost damn near by 20 points every single game. So the overs are coming home. If Trae Young was playing, this would be a definite over for me. So that's kind of where I lean towards, where we have the Cavaliers laying 9.5 at home, going to look to be 18-1. Absolutely fantastic start to this NBA campaign in 2024-25. And the thing about the Cavaliers, why I don't like betting them against the spread, great cover team, right? 8-2 ATS at home. I love it. Sometimes you just got to blindly take it. If you lose, you lose, right? The numbers, the betting numbers, the trends, everything's backing the Cavaliers right now. The problem I have is I do very well betting Cavaliers props. So I get my hand stuck in the cookie jar a little bit, trying to get too specific, I guess you would say, with kind of game scripts. And it's a team I know all too well. So the lesser teams in the NBA, the Cavs seemingly take care of business. So that is one of my best bets. Cavaliers minus 9.5 at home against the Atlanta Hawks. Okay. The next games, we're going to kind of breeze through some of these because this is one where Philly and Houston lean towards Philadelphia here. I think Houston playing an overtime game last night, albeit Houston Rockets 13-6. And I think if you had to kind of ask me face to face, I think 3 of those 6 losses for Houston, I think I've been on the wrong side. So not the best team I have to bet for or against, but I do like the 76ers here a little bit, getting to 5.5 at home with the travel spot for the Houston Rockets, okay? But I'm going to dabble into this market. I'm going to dive into, get me some Tyrese Maxey, okay? They got some shit going on in Philadelphia, okay? And that's just the easiest way that I'm going to be able to describe it for you guys, because it's just some weird stuff that's going down there, okay? We talk about Joel Embiid and Paul George. I mean, you almost kind of want Tyrese Maxey to go to some great coach, like get him in Miami or something, playing for Spoelstra, or some great basketball mind that can use his ability. And I'm a big fan of what Philly does from a coaching perspective. Big fan of that guy. But my problem is within the 76ers is their organization. Basically they're to the likes of the Los Angeles Dodgers, New York Yankees. They are a big money ball club, okay? They spend the money. I mean, look at this roster. I mean, they add key pieces, role players. I don't want to say the dream team, but it's something where you get pretty damn close, right? They signed Kyle Lowry. I know that's a down Kyle Lowry, but going back a couple years when they did sign him, kind of shook the world a little bit. Now they bring in Paul George last year, Joel Embiid, God knows where he is, great basketball talent, but can't stay healthy, and just so much more. It's so funny how you get that seesaw effect in sports, right? If you're uber talented, and then the other kind of intrinsic properties that you have as a, maybe the psychological stuff, it never really balances out. It's really rare that you get all this up at a high level. And Joel Embiid, for as much as he does this, he kind of lacks a little bit in between in the ears, in my opinion. It really kind of pissed me off when he talked about the back-to-backs and just kind of his mindset. Great basketball player, funny as hell, but he's kind of a knucklehead when it comes down to it, and drives the Philadelphia 76ers fans utterly crazy. And I could care less about the 76ers, but this is kind of my opinion as a former player. But that's kind of where we look into the 76ers in the spot. I think that without these guys playing, Maxey's going to have to take it into his own control. He's going to be really ball dominant in this game, in my opinion. The Rockets do have a potential to blow them out as well, so maybe no fourth quarter run. But Tyrese Maxey, if you can find this out there in the prop market, if you do use Prize Picks, there is a 5. If you want that flat 5 push, you can see it right here up on your screen. I will pull up the number where we look into kind of this market where you could find an alt line of under 5 at minus 119. If you can find that, great. I love that one better. But I am going to take some plus money. Maxey under 4.5 assists. I came across this and just kind of looking at Maxey props without Embiid and George. And if you look at this, guys, in the last 5 games, you could pretty much do the math yourself. 2-1, 2-5, and 4. So 70% in his last 10 games. This is hitting at an extreme rate. Very profitable in my opinion. And if you look in kind of Houston, right, they don't allow assists as a defense. That's a crazy way that statistics kind of take form. But we look into kind of where we're at in terms of the value there. Houston has not, they've allowed the least amount of assists per game. And if we look into the point guard, it's third, only 7.3 to the point guard position per game. So I'm going to be taking that. I'm on the under 4.5 at plus 112. If you can find a flat 5 and lay some juice, that would probably be the way I would go. So that's kind of where I'm at. And when you do take unders in NBA props, wait till the last possible moment. Wait for the public to come in and shift the number, and that's kind of where we're going to be at for this game. Okay, let's continue down the odds board. Clippers, Wizards. I do lean towards taking the points with the Clippers. Love me some double-digit money within that team, but we are going to be taking this bet. I'm going to ride the wave. Love me some Bradley Beal blocks. I love betting blocks in the NBA, and if you look at this over the last 10 games, 80% hit rate. All we need is one. Just hit the over half block for Bradley Beal. It's going to basically pay even money, minus 105. As long as we get the minutes and no blowout, and even if we do get a blowout, we just need one. So you look at kind of where Brooklyn is. 22, I don't even know how they keep track of this, but allowing blocks by the point guard position and shooting guard position. I don't even know how they compile that data. But nonetheless, Bradley Beal over a half block, so we need him to get one block, okay? One of my favorite bets of the card tonight. Lock that in. That is going to be one of the props that I'm on as well. All right, and then we are going to continue down. I know, bear with me, guys. It's a big card. Bulls, Magic, no play for me, so we're just going to cross over that one and not get into that. Knicks Mavericks. Now that's an interesting game, okay? And let me pull up my notes here as we look into kind of the Mavs and the Knicks, both covering a lot of basketball games as of late, but the Mavericks have been a better team, covering 11 and 7 ATS. Now, as we look into this a little bit deeper, okay, it's very hard to handicap the New York Knicks based off of the first half of their season. If you want my honest opinion, I don't think that they're going to be the same team in the second half of the season as they are in the first. So once we hit that All-Star break, I'm throwing the Knicks numbers out of the equation. I look at this first half of the games as being basically a training camp in some form or fashion, right? Just get into the play-in game and you'll be fine. And that's kind of where we'll see if that Karl-Anthony Towns experiment does continue. But the Mavs are tough to bet against at home, 23-10 as we look into their last 33 games at home, and as well hitting the number ATS in 66% of the time in their last 6 games. Now, you're going to ask yourself, okay, well, this is kind of where you have to use betting logic, right? 73% of the money is on the Knicks, despite 27% of the handle on the Mavericks. The Mavericks are at home. They're a great home team. So what's going on? Well, we also have a shade of a crazy amount of money on the over, 95% of the handle. This is one where you might even get into a same game little opportunity here, okay? It's because we're going to look into the Dallas Mavericks, and this just kind of pounds the alarm. Luka must be out, all right? It's pretty much common sense. We also have the likes of Dante Exum and Klay Thompson, Quentin Grimes remain questionable for this game. So this could be a buy low spot for the Knicks. The number has moved. If we look at the opening spread and where we were at 3. So it's only gone from 3 to 4. So this number could creep up to 4.5, 5, closer to game time. And also the money line's kind of held pat too. Minus 158 to minus 73. 15 cents of juice is not really that big of a jump, I think, for Luka Doncic. So a lot of this probably was priced in after that official word. So it's kind of one of those games I don't feel comfortable betting due to the fact that Luka is not playing. But the interesting thing about this one, guys, is you have to be careful where you get your betting splits from, okay? Because there are sites that I'm using, and some of them are saying that it's the other way. They're saying the handle is on the Mavs. Outlier right now is showing a overwhelming amount of love for the over and the New York Knicks, but I'm going to be honest with you, I use another platform that I checked alongside of it, and it's saying the opposite. So I don't bet based on bet trends only, so this is something where we're going to talk about kind of staying away from this game. This will be a watch me game, 7:30 tip-off. I think it's too much of a coin flip, and without having Luka and just basically having, a bunch of unknowns going in this spot, the only angle I would play would be taking the Dallas Mavericks +4 at home as a value, but I want to see kind of where this number settles off and wait for some more injury news because Klay Thompson is questionable as well, like I said, and there's a ton of injury questionable tags in this spot. So it's a stay away game. I just wanted to kind of spend some more time talking about it at this point early in the day because, for my opinion, it's one of those games where there's too many variables this early to make a move, and if you think you know what you're doing, it's just a coin flip, and that's kind of how I look at it. But I wanted to talk more about it before you guys make any decisions within this game because it will have probably the highest ticket count of today's games in the NBA. All right, then we go in Detroit and Memphis. Okay, I'm going to be all over the under. This is my favorite bet, one of my favorite bets in terms of a total. I'm taking the Memphis Grizzlies Detroit game under 225.5. We talk about who's kind of in and out. John Morant's out, Edey's out, Vince Williams out. Tobias Harris and Cade Cunningham both questionable, so I'm jumping on this just in case Cade does not suit up. So give me 225.5 under Detroit and Memphis. I'd be shocked if this one got above 220 at all, so that will be one of my best bets, taking the under in that spot. Kings T-Wolves, two of the teams that I had pegged to do well this season are both kind of struggling right now. Sub 500 ball clubs, and the Timberwolves come off a horrific loss last night against Houston, losing 117-111. They get to go home and home as well as kind of OKC. I'm sorry, Sacramento losing to OKC, having a day off before this travel spot. So it sets up a little bit better for Sacramento. This is just too much of a coin flip for me. If anything, if you don't mind betting back-to-backs when they're at home, it's kind of hard not to take the T-Wolves here with just a short number. Minus 160 on the money line for a Timberwolves club that needs to get a win here before Thanksgiving. I think this is a good angle, but it's something where you want to look into kind of these day before holiday. We've seen kind of just these crazy inactives within the NBA, and that's kind of the only reason I don't like betting NBA as crazy until the playoffs, is because you can use it for and against you, but rest inactives and all that weird stuff where I just don't understand why millionaires can't tie their shoestrings and go play basketball 80 times a year and just be done with it. It just makes me kind of cringe a little bit. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, I think this is, for me, guys, it's Timberwolves or nothing. Timberwolves minus 160 is definitely the side I'd be on, okay? Raptors, Pelicans, no play for me in this game. I don't like betting the Pelicans for or against, and I don't understand how any of these clubs could be favored against each other. Both 4-14 off the season, horrible cover teams, and for my money, flip a coin, because it's kind of one of those games where I don't trust either team, okay? And convincingly, they've both covered a lot of basketball games in their last 5 games. When we talk about the Toronto Raptors, they have covered 11 out of 18 games on the season. So it's a Raptors club that I think that is going to be doing a little bit better as they get some more help coming off of injuries. I think that right now they're just crippled, okay? Bruce Brown, Grady Dick, Kelly Olynyk, as well as Emmanuel Quickley out, and we all know kind of how Zion Williams stays out for the Pels. So it's just this is a coin flip, guys. It's about as close as you can get to one. If anything, I would take the plus money, and that's kind of where I would that's where I would stay if you forced me to bet this game. All right, a couple more to talk about, 4 that we are going to breeze through. I do have one play in the late game, and I do have a play in the Lakers and Spurs, and that's kind of where we're going to get into this next game. It's, for me, guys, it's something where I do like the Spurs here in terms of kind of some value. But it's one of those no-bet teams for me. The Spurs have been running hot, winning 4 out of their last 5. Now they come home, host the Lakers. LeBron kind of, he gets up for the holidays, but this is just something where I could see some weird things happening with the Lakers. They've lost 3 of their last 5. They've dropped 3 straight, giving up a lot of points in the process, and getting blown out by 27 against the Suns last night. They have to continue right now going back-to-back on the road again. It's a bad travel spot, right? Will they drop 4 straight? Maybe. Maybe not. But they have not covered their last 5 games against the spread. And so this is kind of setting up for a weird, I told you so, San Antonio Spurs bet that is kind of lurking there. But the best bet I'm going to be making here in this spot is taking Victor Wembanyama, okay? I think this number is way too low. He always plays good against the Lakers. 28.5 is the number for points and assists. Look at his last 5 games, guys. 40, 52, 33, 34, 36. And in a game that I do see a lot of points and see the Spurs having some success, giving him some minutes in the fourth quarter, Victor Wembanyama, we are going over 28.5 in that fourth quarter. He's also hit this head-to-head against the Lakers 75% of the time, but in 2024, it's been one where it's been about 50%, but I think the way that he's trending in his last 10 games even is just up, okay? It's just up. Since the 11th game against Sacramento, in these last 5 games, Victor Wembanyama has been playing very, very well, averaging 29.5, but we do get some outliers where we do have easy covers within that number, so I do like the over 28.5 is my best bet for the Spurs Lakers, okay? And we will get into the last games. Nets, Suns, no play for me outside of that Bradley Beal number. And you're going to have to forgive me. I did a complete brain fart. I think I talked about Bradley Beal from being on his time within the Washington Wizards. So excuse me, but we'll apply that to the team that he's actually on, and that is the Phoenix Suns. So that will be the Bradley Beal bet that I will have, and the only bet in the Suns Nets game. Okay, it happens. Cheers. I don't have the correct ingredients yet in my bloodstream, so we will get that very shortly after this video because we have a lot of content and picks to give out today on the channel. All right, Denver and Utah, no play for me. Denver's kind of on that no-fly zone until they get fully healthy. It's a bad spot, too, traveling on the road, laying 10 on the road. Never a fan of that, okay? And then the final game, I think this is one that is more of a must-play for me as we look into the last game on the card between the Thunder and the Warriors, okay? And I know that the Thunder are banged up. They don't have a lot of guys going. We could talk about kind of their injury report, but Curry's questionable. Kuminga's questionable, but the Thunder are the big storyline as Caruso and Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams is still out with a hamstring, and Nikola Topic is out. They have a ton of injuries right now on the Thunder, but it's just a fishy number for me. They travel on the road pretty well, and I'm going to be laying the 2.5 here with the Thunder while I still can, as this number has flipped over the zero as the Thunder opened as a 1-point favorite, now a 2.5-point favorite. So I'm not opposed to OKC moneyline minus 136. Just forget about that late kind of backdoor 3 by Steph Curry if we get it, and that's kind of where I'm going to be at within this bet. I was able to lay this a little bit lower at minus 128, so that's kind of where, full disclosure, I'm going to have my best bet for this game. So that's why it's important to have that notification bell turned on, and when you do want the numbers, get them as soon as possible. So for me, it's Thunder money line. That's my best bet. I'm going with kind of the SGA playing. We're going to take them to take care of business. So Thunder go on the road, get the win against the Warriors. All right, that'll wrap it up. Here is my final plays. Make sure you all like, comment, and subscribe down below. Also, channel members, if you guys want to become a channel member, link down below in the description for that. Gives you basically direct access to me on the Discord, and it's a great way to give back to the channel. So that's kind of what we have going on. Also, feel free to hop over to the Discord. It's totally free. Follow me on X. Good luck with your picks. We got 3 in the prop market and 3 in the side or total. We'll have some college football and NFL action tomorrow on Thanksgiving. Those picks will be up, as well as Joey D within hockey, and you might even get a college basketball video from me with my picks, as kind of got back into the swing of things a little bit, and that's kind of where we're at with stuff that's going on the channel in terms of announcements. Appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all tomorrow in the next video. Cheers.